Now, we frequently talk on Used Bike Heaven about the desirability of checking for accident damage when you're looking at second-hand bikes, and usually that's quite easy to see, but unfortunately it's not always quite that simple. On this bike, for example, everything looks fine at the front end, but these forks have actually been accident damaged and they bent. Now, a very easy way to tell that, I've slackened off these pinch bolts on the fork leg, and if I now put a spanner on the top of there and turn the fork leg down here, you can see that movement there. And that's a pretty clear indication that this fork stanchion has been accident damaged and it will need replacing. So what do we do to put that right? Well, there's a certain amount of dismantling involved. The first thing to do is to remove the front wheel. I've cheated here slightly by already slackening this nut off, but if I take that nut off there, now I should be able to pull the wheel spindle out like that. That's a speedo drive going, and we've just popped the wheel to one side. That now leaves me with the fork legs supported in the yokes up here. Now, on this particular bike, what I'm going to do is separate the fork legs into two parts. The bottom part here is the slider and the top part is the stanchion, and you can see that's how it moves up and down. Now on this one, in order to separate that, there's a circlip pin here that I need to take out. So I'm using special circlip pliers for that. They just pop in there. This is just a slightly tricky little job, so I'm going to use a little screwdriver to help me pop that out. Oh, there we go, it's come out quite nicely. And on this bike I have cheated slightly by removing the spring and gaiter, which normally lives on there. Now the scary bit is now to pull this off the bottom of the stanchion. There are bushes in here, and if I bash that down like that, there we go, that's the top bush released from the top of the slider. That can be the scary bit, but as long as you've taken the circlip out first, it will come away. That's the slider removed from the bottom of the stanchion. On here now you can see the fork bushes, these are the bearing surfaces, and that's the fork seal that keeps the oil into the bottom of the fork leg. The next step now is to remove the stanchion from the yokes. To do that, first of all, I'm going to take this bolt out of the top. Now if I slacken this pinch bolt off again on the bottom yoke, I should now be able to pull the stanchion down out of the yokes. And there it is. And you can see there's actually been signs of bodgery on there too. Someone's had a go at this in the past. And you may be able to see, if I sight that up that way, you can now tell how badly bent that is, and that wasn't obvious on the bike. In order to repair that, I'm going to have to replace both of these two stanchions and simply bolt it all back together, and that's the bike fixed.